Hi, my name is Hrishikesh Kamat. I'm the Chief Procurement Officer of AMNS India. I'm based in Mumbai. I've been working with one of the parent companies of AMNS, that is ArcelorMittal, for a very long time. But for the last about 4.5 years since the company AMNS was formed, I work for them here in India.
AMNS India's iron ore consumption at present, and going forward, what will be the volume like?
So at this point in time, we consume about 20 million tons of iron ore. We have got steel making expansion projects coming up, and we expect that by within about 2 or 3 years from now, the requirement of iron ore of our company will double, and over time it will go many multiple fold. I mean, by say 2030, it will be much more higher than what it is currently. But in the next 2 or 3 years, I think that's the relevant data point for you. It's going to nearly double.
Okay, so looking at the recent Supreme Court judgment and the retrospective mineral tax, what kind of ramifications will it have on Indian iron ore prices and steel prices?
In the immediate future, no, because the implementation or the repayment of the tax is going to start from 2026. But as I've said earlier in the conference, it will certainly create an inflationary pressure, because for any iron ore manufacturer, this is going to be a cost, and the cost is going to get added onto the product cost. So, and that is going to be passed on to the people who buy iron ore like us, and we are going to pass it on to the consumer. So, this is not the only tax only cost that gets passed on. So, there's a multiple of costs which get factored into a product. So that's how it's going to play out, I think. But it's going to create an inflationary pressure on iron ore prices. It will impact everyone, yes, because it's going to be a cost on iron ore, yes.
And blending is a key issue, as someone at one of the sessions said that because high grade is getting depleted, we have to take a very close look at. We have to rationalize our supplies. So, what is the scenario like in India where blending is concerned? What is the supply rationalization scenario like?
So India is very lucky as a country because it has got vast low-cost iron ore resources. But at the same time, India needs to preserve these resources in the longer term. So I suppose that every steel maker or consumer of iron ore is going to rationalize the consumption of iron ore. That means limit the high consumption of high grade to the extent possible and blend it in with low grade iron ore to the extent possible. So just in order to preserve the iron ore, that's what it is going to be.
So, where coking coal is concerned, how do you think it is going to play out in the medium to long term, considering that globally demand is, there's no shine on the demand, but at the same time supplies are increasing. I think a lot more mines are going to open up in Australia, and sourcing countries are also increasing. We have Russia, we have Mozambique, we have Mongolia now. So how do you think the whole matrix is going to play out?
So the first part of your question is very correct, that the demand for coal or coking coal in India is going to go up multiple fold very soon. But all these countries, whether it's Australia, Russia, Mozambique, Mongolia, they are all sources, and everybody in India will try to get the lowest cost blend of coal into their steel making process, and they will span out to all these countries and try to buy from wherever it's available at low prices. Not low prices, I mean they will try to optimize the cost of the blend. Yeah.
And looking at the short term, prices have coking coal prices have fallen considerably. So how is that impacting mills' bottom lines?
No, if the coking coal prices come down, it's beneficial to the steel industry, of course. What you said, how is it going to impact?
Impact mills' bottom lines.
Definitely, bottom lines will improve, but that is not the only factor. Just because the coking coal price comes down, the bottom line does not increase. The steel price is also reduced. If you have read the press, yes. So that will also impact the bottom line. So these are all factors which keep going up and down. So.
Steel prices are going down, and raw material prices are also sliding, which is also a factor which is
not in proportion. At this point in time, we cannot say that the raw material prices are reducing in the same proportion as steel prices. We can't say that as yet.
So, you said 20 million tons is your consumption at present of iron ore. So, how much is that from your own mines and from?
So 10 million tons is our captive iron ore, 10 million tons is what we source from outside.
Mineral taxes are perhaps the highest in the world compared to other mineral producing countries. So, what sort of regulatory interventions would be, like.
See, I would say that the government has got a very, very ambitious plan to ramp up steel production in the country to about 300 million. So there will be a responsibility on the government's part to make sure that this remains sustainable. In the sense, people will produce 300 million tons so long as it is profitable. So if there are some inefficient taxes which are adding to the cost, I'm quite sure that the government will understand and try to rationalize them. That's my view.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much. So a very big thank you to BigMint for being the most respectable index for almost all the commodities that we track in the country. We use it regularly. We sort of wake up and the first thing we look at is the BigMint indices. So please keep on doing what you're doing. I hope that encourages you to improve your services to the industry like us.